What were each planet's names? Around 3.8 billion years ago? Ever pondered the nature of our how did the solar system appear in the past? If the planets had been as they are now, or did they have entirely distinct looks? This movie will take us back in time to discover what picture of the planets 3.8 billion years ago. Why are there 3.8 billion years? We chose this day because no other since it was at this particular moment. The solar system was coming to an end. The late heavy bombardment era is so called. Hello and welcome to Oz News. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. This time frame encompassed the range of 4.1 to 3.8, before a billion years. During that period, comparatively on a cosmic scale, there were numerous huge how often asteroids strike planets and items found in the solar system's interior. Planetary gases we typically like starting with the planets nearest to Earth, the Sun. However, in this instance, in light of the gas tycoons, we will make an exception. Have not undergone many changes over time. Why? They lack a strong foundation, which is the cause. Surface, and as a result, during the late intense bombing campaign, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, and Uranus experienced numerous asteroid collisions. Nonetheless, these dispersed into their clouds, and as a result, they continue to look the same. According to some astronomers, Jupiter and Saturn a minor change in hue since the minerals that the asteroid debris deposited in gas giants may alter, but only slightly, the hue of their clouds. This was inferred from the comet's impact. The 1993 Shoemaker-Levy 9 meteorite that struck Jupiter. At this point, include a thumbnail for the video. In relation to Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, the comet left behind a significant amount of material that Jupiter's surface, resulting in a strong. The planet has a dark vortex that has only faintly altered the cloud's chemical makeup. Beyond that, however, it is likely that the gaseous worlds resembled each other. Not so their moons today, maybe because in the distant past, the gas giants may not have as many moons as there are presently. Neptune is an example of this, and its biggest moon, Triton. We now understand that this moon was trapped by the icy giant's gravitation, and that it was originally outside of this world. Mercury clearly stating what the appearance of the gas giants. Let's move on to the planets with rocky surfaces, which were entirely distinct. Starting 3.8 billion years ago with Mercury, this planet appeared to be a fire pit following the end of the late heavy bombardment period. The MESSENGER probe's analyses demonstrated that Mercury's surface is similar to that of many meteorite collisions on the Moon, range in size from thousands of kilometers to a few meters. Some of the craters were formed recently, about a few million years old, distinguished by a dominant summit. Earlier craters have experienced extreme erosion, maybe brought on by heavy variations in temperature from 623 every day to 103 K, around 170 degrees Celsius, at night. Mercury, like the Moon, seems to have undergone a heavy meteorite bombardment time during which around 4 billion years ago. Mercury experienced cratering during this time. Impacts over its surface, made possible by the absence of any environment that could many of these rocks to dissolve or to stall down. Mercury was experiencing a volcanic eruption at the time, creating depressions or basins with lava from the planet's innards and generating fluid lowlands resembling the Maria or seas of the Moon. The finding by the is evidence of this. MESSENGER investigation of potential volcanoes. Mercury's plains are divided into two separate periods. Less cratered and less eroded are the young plains, most likely developed after lava flows submerged the landscape from earlier. Defining characteristics on this planet's surface are the countless across the grasslands and compression folds. According to theory, the planet's interior it cooled, it shrank, and the top started to deform. One can see these folds atop craters and plains, demonstrating a much more recent age. The Mercurian surface has bent considerably by the tidal force the Sun produces. Its tidal. Mercury has 17% stronger forces than those the Moon has on Earth. There is something exceptional about Mercury's geology. is the impact crater known as the Caloris Basin. Represents one of the massive meteoric the entire solar system is depressed. This geographical feature has approximately a 1,550 diameter kilometers. Before to the Messenger probe's flyby, its length was estimated to be 1,300 kilometers. Moreover, a form of uncertain origin is present. Seen in any other celestial body before it has about 100 narrow segments. Smooth ground with fissures known as the spider, there is an unidentified crater in the middle of this. Whether or not this crater is connected to its genesis. This all demonstrates that Mercury had a violent history, and it's probable that it didn't appear any similar to how it is currently because, due to several comet and meteorite collisions, it was considerably warmer than it is now, a sea of flames. Venus wears the hottest planet of them all. When it showers sulfuric acid and gets hotter than 480, the horror that is C° today did not always exist. In fact, all analyses demonstrate that there are most likely billions. Venus and Earth were extremely similar millions of years ago. Many years after the meteorite bombardment period, Venus and other rocky planets have been hit by comets. As you are aware, comets are enormous ice masses and the biggest water reserves in the solar system. When these comets struck the Earth, billions of years ago, planets the water became the ice once it melted, if the planet experienced sufficient gravity and an atmosphere, allowing the water to remain and develop into lakes, rivers, and oceans. It's thought that in the past, over the solar system's past, Venus's weather and atmosphere were warmer, with temperatures up to 50. Considering that, something much kinder would be C°. Venus's current temperature is higher than 480 C. When temperatures are that high, it's possible that Venus has water-filled oceans like those on Earth, along with possibly possessing all the prerequisites for the existence of life. Venus has existed at least 300 million years. Could hold every drop of water left behind. It had a considerably richer atmosphere than comets. Carbon dioxide is. Yet, eventually something took place, gradually causing it to progressively more carbon dioxide is accumulated, heating the ocean and the entire atmosphere to gradually evaporate till it was gone. The planet has been warming through time, and it did this by capturing greenhouse gases, which led to stop being a peaceful and amiable planet, becoming the hottest planet of all. Water. Venus's greenhouse effect prevents any attempt to reach it. Gas heating it retains and dissipates heat, preventing any life from developing on the surface. The planet that was undoubtedly the most alien was Earth has not always been a wonderful place for us. A serene blue house with oceans, woodlands teeming with a variety of creatures. A period of 3,800,000,000 years a while back, following the late bombardment period, Earth appeared extremely differently. Our at the time planetary system at the start of the Archaic era, there was an evolution of the throughout this time. Thus, plate tectonics had to exist in the Earth's crust. In addition to an internal terrestrial structure resembling the one we are familiar with, it was distinguished, nonetheless, by excessive heat. According to estimates, there were more seismic due to the extraordinary speed with which, because of how the lithosphere is created, there would also be anticipated to increase significantly in a dorsal region. Dorsals are elevated in a submarine fashion that take place as a result of tectonic plate movement. There was more major activity at this time. Increased in the subduction zones plates, both large and tiny, that produced ongoing tremors all throughout active volcanoes all across the Earth, and a greater amount of greenhouse gases, airborne gases, particularly carbon dioxide. Free oxygen was lacking in the atmosphere. The temperature appears to be near the current level. Despite Earth's 500 million year history formation, when there is liquid water, as shown by a few severely distorted gneisses formed as a result of sedimentary protoliths. The Sun, according to astronomers, was around a third as brilliant as it is now, which may have decreased and caused the drop in global temperatures. According to popular belief, there was the most significant greenhouse volume every point in Earth's history, gases. Stromatolites start to appear at this period. Important fossils are stromatolites, resulting from cellular activity in groups producing sedimentary rocks in colonies that 3,700 million years ago, a clump of material called abundance at its peak 1,250 million years ago. These organisms have been found by geologists, ingested carbon dioxide and converted it to, in other words, these were accountable for the oxygen for supplying the oxygen we breathe to our world. As you can see, the planet was very different in the past. Still lacked the prerequisites to support human habitation. People similar to modern humans. In fact, it's likely that of all living things on the planet right now, few would be able to withstand the circumstances that our planet at the time possessed. Mars. Lastly, there is Mars. Science believes that in the past, Mars resembled Earth greatly. Since following the late bombing phase, Mars, Venus, and Earth all felt the impact of several comets that drained water into it. Hence, Mars had a much denser atmosphere. More atmosphere than it does now, along with being far more enjoyable temperatures, warm oceans, and numerous rivers water. Everything necessary for housing living things. Now, exploration probes have discovered signs of what appear to be historical water currents on the red planet, as well as finding that there are a few scattered water deposits there beneath the Martian surface, either sand or clay. Mars, without a doubt, was a considerably more welcoming a location for ancient life, which is why many scientists speculate that life may have started, then migrated to Earth through asteroids from here. The panspermia is what we refer to as theory, which we discussed extensively deeper in the video we created about whether or not the moon is home to any dinosaurs. Add the thumbnail we created here regarding the moon-based dinosaurs film. For a very long time, Mars was the planet that is most favorable for life, actually may have better living circumstances than Earth, but sadly, its core is little. This caused it to cool extremely quickly. It resulted in the magnetic field being lost. With and without a magnetic field, weak gravity, nothing was there to block solar light from entering the atmosphere. The solar wind eventually began to gradually tear off Mars' atmosphere, which lowered the air pressure, causing the evaporation, causing it to vanish from the water once it was entirely dry, the planet. As you can see, the planets have changed over time, have experienced substantial changes that have caused them to get to where they are now. However, thanks to this, a planet was successful and acquired the prerequisites for housing living things. If there is anything we can learn from the past to comprehend what the future will hold similarly, we now understand that the Earth and the remainder of the planets are still evolving, and our planet won't always be friendly to visitors. Today we are at home, so we need to take care of keep it safe until we locate a new place to live on one of the universe's other planets. Would you like a video to be created about what will future planets look like? Write a thoughtful remark for us to find out.